look up on your computer what happens when the martial law is declared in this country. You lose all your rights. They can just throw you in jail. No representation, no freaking reason. Oh man, it's like the Gestapo.
Well, who wants to declare martial law? I didn't catch that.
He was saying that Trump. That's why
they wanted to come in with 250-volt switcher, and I said we don't have any 250.
Martial law, because I guess they can rule from the bench. The Supreme Court can rule from the bench, and he can say he wants martial law in, and they can say, oh yeah, okay, here you go.
Well, that's ridiculous. Whoever came up with that idea. I mean, that's so. In fact, probably when if the country is actually in martial law, the Supreme Court's probably nullified. They probably don't have anything to say about anything. But who would come up with an idea like that?
I don't know. Ask Bobby.
He reads too many of these really weird websites.
Oh well, but that would be something, though, man. And it says in there, if you look up, if the United States ever did go to martial law, they can come in and just confiscate your guns if they want to.
W2WDX.
What's the matter, John? You
kept interjecting his opinion, which was an opinion that meant nothing because I know.
WA8RVD. You are always around, and it's always a treat to hear you. Go ahead.
It's been a long time. Wow.
But he has no problem playing music. It's rather annoying.
Oh, is he playing music again?
Absolutely.
Jesus Christ Almighty.
Wow, Ken and Carry Along. That's back in the old days. A long time ago.
Yeah, it's a recurring theme. I keep hearing about them. Might have to do a drive-by. But if they hear me on, they'll be like, all right, forget it. Let's take the antenna down.
Audio. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it sounds like you gained weight, too.
Well, that's because I don't have one of those little radios anymore.
Okay.
Knock him dead on 10-meter AM during the last cycle, because he certainly had the hardware at one point. Really good antennas, but for some reason, no. Anyway, things happen. People get busy. People do other stuff. I don't know what happened.
Bill, just for ha-has, look that up. If they ever did declare martial law, man, you lose all your rights. Hey, you can't do nothing.
Well, that's exactly why it isn't going to happen. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Really. I mean, come on. Whoever came up with that idea, that's ridiculous.
That would be something, though. Man, I wouldn't want to be a commie rat. They'll all be going, they just disappear like back in Nazi Germany with the Jews. It'd be the same thing.
I don't know.
Let's make sure I wear a black shirt.
Anyway, yeah, John, I think the band is going through a metamorphosis right now. I know it's a big word and I don't even know how to spell it, but I think I'm noticing some fluctuation on all of you guys' signals, so hopefully the band settles down and doesn't go long in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, band conditions are really amazing.
I fixed the antenna here. One end of this antenna was down when I came up in July. And I fixed that before I left last month. And so now the whole thing's up in the clear. And I had a lot of trees cut down around the antenna.
Yeah, I've been monitoring all these years, Bob. I listen to you guys all the time. I heard when you made the change, and it was quite a bit of a difference. I mean, down here, and in the Bronx, where I was for a while, your signal probably went up about 2 or 3 S units from where it was in the Bronx. down here, once I got an antenna up and I looked at it, you're quite a bit stronger.
You get what? Maybe 2 months out of the year, all told, of blue skies. I mean, that's kind of what I remember, but, you know, I'm thinking about Watertown.
No, it's absolutely... The 6 dB doing that unit?
Yeah. Yep.
That's quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. It's a big difference. I was like, no, you know, if I go on 73, I got to get a respectable signal out there. This is getting pretty good. So, he was inspired.
Oh, my. I'm going to be able to get my head through the door here tonight. Jeez, I won't be able to go upstairs.
So, John, what amp are you running that flex into?
No, it's HL 2200 heat kit.
Oh, that's it. Bobby's got one of those. Those things will do right around legal limit.
Yeah, it's pair 3500. So it's much better built than the SB220, you know, which is, you know, the previous generation, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah, it's much better. It's got a heftier transformer and higher voltage.
Well, this one I've got, you know, it's in really great shape. It's pristine. And I got sitting in a box right over here next to me is a high heavy-duty Peter Dowell transformer for it. So it's got twice the current capability as the stock. I can't wait to get it this thing.
Well, what's the voltage on the Peter Dowell transformer? Because it's 2200's got a higher voltage transformer than the 220 did.
Yeah, well, it's the same voltage. It's just instead of, what is it, 0.7 amps, it'll do 1.4.
Oh, well, if you're not raising the voltage up. Yeah, I guess it'll, you know, it won't have any sag to it, that's for sure.
Right, I'm more concerned about linearity than I am about power. I got plenty of power. I mean, right now I'm running it very conservatively. I'm only running about 115 watt carrier, and you know, it's swinging up to whatever, you know, whatever. I'm not really paying attention, but I'm not driving it hard at all right now.
Oh, okay. Well, the amp I got will do 400 watts carrier, but I'm on the E-rig. But I got an AL1200. Man, that thing's a brute.
Oh yeah. I was thinking about getting one of those, but I came across this one, and it was just such good shape, and you know me and my vintage stuff, so it just made sense. Hey, Bill, by the way, how does the audio sound? Is it right now? Is it? I got it up. I'm looking at the scope. It looks good on the scope. I don't know what it sounds like out there.
Yeah, well, you definitely don't have that muffly and bassy sound that you had last night. If anything, you could probably add in a little bit of bass, you know, a little bit at a time anyway. But no, it sounds clean and a lot of present rise. It sounds crispy clean.
Yeah, okay, good. I added a little bit of to it there just now. So maybe that's a little better. I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a lot of 3 days.
Knock the apples on the ground and wait a couple of days. And, oh man, what a mess! We need to get one apple that we could use because it was just Critter City out there. And I put these little hanging. They hang like Christmas ornaments. They look like little chrome-plated discs. It's like the back of a D104. You hang that, and it keeps the birds away. Well, it keeps the birds away until they figure out that those discs don't do anything.
It's very hard to outsmart Mother Nature. Yeah, well, that apple tree in my driveway, I have like this weird 2-lane driveway with a divider in between. Very difficult to describe. But that apple tree is in the midst of the median between the 2 strips of driveway, and it's grown up into the service drop, the power lines coming into the house. That tree is going to be history. One, I don't want the critters hanging around. Two, I really don't want it growing up into the power lines. Question is, who's taking it down, the power company or a contractor?
Yeah, and of course they'll play the it's not our problem game if they can.
And I'm weighing the options. If I cut it down myself, will I get electrocuted while cutting it down with my Remington electric chainsaw?
Well, that's something you may want to think about.
Yeah, I did. I'm gonna call the pros first and we'll see what happens. But, yeah, God, I got serious up there at the end. But they haven't made any entry into the house or anything like that, so it's not a big deal. I just need to control it to the point that I can leave my Chevy parked outside for an afternoon under where the cherry tree is now, without it getting covered with bird shit. Well, WD-40L.
Yeah, that's no fun, man. Anyway, somebody else pick it up here. I don't want to monopolize the conversation.
Which flex is that, the 5,000?
Cut it out.
Yeah, it's the 5000A.
Oh, okay. Did you set it up according to Rob's website?
That's not the problem he's having.
I know. I'm not talking about his problem. I'm asking if he set the Flex audio up like Rob has on his website.
Well, I just used, regular ordinary audio engineering practices where I made sure that every single stage was at unity, so everything was the same. And my problem initially was EQ. I didn't have enough free emphasis on the signal, so it was a little bit wonky for a few people, especially those of the people out there using like 980s and stuff. So I had to get that sorted out. No, my problem was memory. It was just not, normally with the Flex software, if you turn it off, you shut it down, and you come back, start it up again, it usually goes back to where it was. Well, it didn't do that. It would go back to this kind of default profile. So apparently, I think the K9 Doggy software, has some problem with it corrupts the database. So it doesn't return back to the previous setting. And I had everything set. I had everything enabled where it would save the setting. But it just didn't.
And I heard you, Steve.
The bullshit setting that I started out with when I first installed the software. So there you go. I'm getting closer.
Yeah, no, it's working, Steve. I hear you. Yeah, well, I'm running the KE9NS software. I don't have any problems with it at all. Anyway, Steve, go ahead.
No, that's all right. I can just ignore me, Just keep keying, make believe the radio's not working, and all that good stuff. After all, you are miscreants, right?
Hey, you're not coming to Nearfest, and we have the right to ignore you.
Yeah, and you were probably keying up the same time as I was, because I only heard you that last
I'm not strapping
transmission just before now. I heard you key up, and that's why I turned it over to you.
That's all right. I'm just horsing around anyways. I do not care. I kind of got a kick out of it. And yes, Bob, you and I were keyed up at the same time. Other than that, keep on chatting. I just want you to know I was here so you wouldn't call me any names or any such thing. WA1SGH.
What, you're learning how to be a miscreant like us, Steve. That's all there is to it.
God forbid, huh?
Well, it's not a bad thing.
And, John, I heard you're valiant attempt, but no way.
Well, I had to try, I had to see.
Yeah, but anyway, getting back to, everybody that I've heard on a Flex, if they didn't set it up according to, Rob spent a lot of time on that. You go into the leveler, and everything's got to be, set up. I set mine up the way... People can't tell the difference between, I'm running an E-rig now. If I switch over to just a Flex, you're not going to notice any difference other than my signal dropping, but I'm going to sound exactly the same.
Yeah, but that has more to do with your audio chain than it does the settings in the software. But John, I don't know. A lot of people are running that software and not having that type of an issue. So I would just, if you haven't done it already, I would uninstall it, maybe download a fresh copy of it and reinstall it and see what happens.
Yeah, and I got 2.8, 0.80. I didn't go up to the next ones. I guess I got two other ones after this one here, but I didn't like what he added in there, so I kept this one.
Yeah, that's when I started having problems, because I had, I installed this software probably about 2 months ago in preparation, and I didn't have that problem. And then I upgraded to something else, and I think I still have the original file installed. 7 and 2. So I'll probably go back to that and go back and use that, because that seemed to work. And now these newer versions that, well, I did an update about a week ago, just before I put the antenna up. Of course, that's when it decided to take a dump on me. So there you go. But yeah, no, I'm not using an audio chain right now. So that's the other difference. I'm basically using a Focusrite USB audio interface, which is going into the computer, and then it goes through a piece of software called Breakaway Broadcast, and then comes out of the audio interface and back into the line input of the Flex. So that's kind of the weird way I'm doing things right now. But basically, the Breakaway Broadcast is the same thing as an Optimod, only digital in software. So it's I'm using that right now. That seems to be working okay. I just have to kind of sort out the EQ issue I had earlier. I was also having a problem with the balance between the carrier and the drive and all of that. That didn't help either. So, and another weird thing I was having, I don't know why. Maybe you guys have seen this happen, but my carrier was actually dropping down, and then after I would stop modulating, all of a sudden it would pop back up. So my carrier would be down like really low, and then while I'm talking, and then all of a sudden it would pop back up. I don't know what that was, but it doesn't seem to be doing that now, so God knows. Weird stuff.
Yeah, digi-widgy stuff. Yeah, well, I downloaded the first version of the KE9NS software, and then I upgraded to 2.8.0.80, and then I think he's come out with two other ones after the one I have. I didn't like what I saw on there, so I kept this one. But I had no problems with the first one. I had no problems with this one here, the 2.80. No problems at all. So, download the first one, and if you want, you can upgrade to the 2.8.080. That one's okay, but I wouldn't go any higher than that, because you might wind up with the same problem again. But yeah, what I was getting at, Bill, yeah, I'm running the same audio gear, and it sounds the same. That's my point. It only sounds the same because if the Flex is set up right, it sounds just as good as an E-Rig. That's my point. Of course, I'm running the same audio gear, but if the Flex isn't set up right, or if it wasn't a Flex, it was like a rice box, I don't care what you do, you ain't going to get the audio to sound like an E-Rig. So my point being is that the Flex by itself, the bare Flex, running the same audio gear sound just every bit as good as an E-Rig, and they absolutely do. If they're set up right, man, they sound like $1 million. That's but I like this version, and I can take a picture of your signal on my pan adapter, and I can send it to you in an email. That's pretty neat. That part. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that's in here that I'll never use, but that's one that's pretty neat. I sent one to Steve to show him where his 11 kilohertz signals on either side were, so that he could see it, and he could see how many dB down it was from the original signal.
Hey, I need to ask Matt a question. You still there, Matt?
I am. I'm just listening.
Hey, listen, you're going to come down next Thursday afternoon, have some refreshments and some appetizers. If you need me, I'll talk to the boss up there and see if he can get the afternoon off.
Oh no, I'm planning on it. I was going to get with you there at some point here and find out what I should bring and so on and so forth. But
Oh, very good. No, you don't have to bring anything. In fact, the only other question I have for you is what kind of beer do you like to drink?